And we are live. Hello and welcome to the Matchday Vlogs Punts and Predictions preview show for Brighton versus Southampton on Monday night. And we're going to be getting into that shortly. But before we do that, smash the like button and let's get into it. Jai, I did that. Just smash the like button. Like this video right now.
Like it right now. That is what YouTubers say. So
It is. We're not going to start talking until you like this video. That's what we're going to do. Hello and welcome to the show. I'm here joined as ever by Jack, who's we've both worn grey. I don't know why.
What's happened is during this lockdown we've blended together, like without knowing it. We're in the same. We're watching the same shows. It's all blending in. we are one.
We were just chatting before the show how we got addicted to this bar rescue program. It's one of those things that I think is on a Facebook video thing. You just get sucked into it. Anyway, we should be talking about football. But before we jump into the Brighton game, welcome to everyone in the chat section, by the way. Nice to have you all with us. Let's talk about Sunday. Because I think we're all a little bit deflated on Sunday. We're all a little bit run down. Our unbeaten record had gone after 7 games, and I honestly think we were all a little bit harsh on ourselves, if I'm being completely honest. My summer of the game, after 4 days of letting that sink in, we were just outdone in the second half. You call it what you want, but there was just unbelievably high levels of football going on in the second half, especially by Edison Cavani, who can't tie his shoelaces, but can preempt exactly where a football is going to go in the box. And arguably, they beat us at our own game. They overloaded our penalty area and scored goals. So
it's
what are we going to do?
That is what it is. What it is with that game, as everyone likes to hear on this channel.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, man. It's Yeah, when you watch it back, that is exactly what happens. They just overload us at the back. But Bednarak has that injury towards the end. I kind of forgot that about that. He had that back injury towards the last half of the game. Completely forgot about that. And then you kind of had Vestergaard sort of trying to make up for both of them. When you watch the goals back, there's so much space in the box and no one's being closed down. No one's tight to a man, and you've got to assume that's because if you're tight to a man against United, you're going to get a penalty. So it's either you hang loose and you concede a goal, or you get close and they go down. So it's hard to tell against United. It's a shame that we couldn't continue the form.
No.
But we weren't amazing in that half. But we put away chances. All of our good chances we put away, and then anything else seemed pretty lucky. Like the Shea Adams goal was pretty much the only thing second half that really came for us, if you look back at it. So we, going forward.
Wait a minute, Jack. Wait, the Shea Adams goal?
Not the Shea Adams just missed the shot he had that just skimmed by. Yeah.
But you make an excellent point in regards to the goals that we scored. They were brilliant goals. I mean, Jan Bednarek getting that header at near post. I mean, there is an unfortunate statistic that every time Jan Bednarek scores, we end up losing the game 3-2.
Yeah.
I think it was the first time was against Chelsea, and then there was that game against Wolves, which is a rather unfortunate statistic to have. But there we go. And that free kick from James Ward-Prowse. I mean, it's a shame we're not talking about that. But one point I think I was referring to towards the end of the post-reaction show, I don't know what I was mumbling because I was so upset at the fact that we were giving away 2-0. Is the fact that the style of play that we're playing, is it meaning that the players are fatiguing? They haven't got enough energy to run the system that Ralph's trying to do? I mean, do you think that's an issue for us?
It's an issue in the sense that our depth isn't there. Like the thing that we were saying, that when did we make our first sub? It was about 80 minutes, wasn't it? It was really late into the game that the first sub.
Yeah, 80 something.
82. It was like 82 minutes or something like that. It's ridiculous. But then you look at the bench, and we were all saying, who do you bring on? Well, if you bring on Long, this is how you have to change everything. And if you do this, you have to move the system around. And it's that late in the game, do the players then have the legs to be able to move into the different positions? And it's hard to say. But so it's obviously it just fell apart for us at the end. And fitness is going to be an issue with this sort of play, but it's going to be a lot better when you got Redmond back, when you've got Danny Ings back. If Salasu ever turns up, if he ever actually plays a game, then then when we get the FA Cup in as well, you might see Diallo get a few more run of games, or it's a shame we got knocked out of the League Cup as quickly as we did, because it would have been nice to have a basis for some other players to get out there and to boss it a little bit and see something. But
I've forgotten about that.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
We're at the League Cup.
Exactly. I think we've got Shrewsbury? I think we've got in the FA Cup.
Yeah, at home, I think. But you mentioned Salisu. What's your opinion on Salisu's situation? A question there from Dan Hudson. He's just not fit yet. But yeah, I mean, I think we'll get onto that question later because it's going to digress into something else. But we're talking about squad depth, and one point I think that was brought up by our good friend Jurgen Klopp at the weekend, he was rather miffed at the in the post-match interview with the BT presenter. If you haven't seen that video, seriously, go and find it on YouTube. It is utterly brilliant. The relentless questioning by the BT presenter was perfection. It was spot on. But the reason why I bring that up is I want to talk about squad rotation, squad depth, and this 5 sub things. Because if you look at the way a lot of the large clubs are set up, they have deeper squads. They can rotate players. Not that they ever want to, but they're on about 5 substitutions. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because Ralph voted in favour of 5 substitutions, which surprised me initially. But when he spoke about the reasons for it, it's a case of refreshing up the players and probably would assist him running the systems that he wants to do with the squad. So in one side of it, I'm like, yeah, that makes total sense. And then the other side of it, I look at our bench and go, really? Like, who are you going to bring on? Nathan Teller's had a couple good performances. Diallo's, we haven't really seen much of Diallo, but there's lots of unknowns within that. And I think that's something that. But does that surprise you that Ralph wants to go for a 5 substitution if it does eventually go through?
Not really, because of the way we play, you can see it working in his advantage, and that is the only reason I would be like that. I would be for it, because I'm gonna say, like, if Ralph knows how to use it, let him use it. If he wants it,
right?
Then I'd rather have it if Ralph wants it. But the way Klopp goes on about it, it's he didn't have he won. Look at how early they won the league. Did he have to play his players that entire time afterwards? It's the same amount of games for everyone. I know you got here, and if you want to win the Champions League, you got to have squad depth, and that's not our problem. It's not our problem. That's yours. That's the way I honestly see it. But if Ralph wants it, Ralph can have it.
Ultimately, that's what we're going for. If Ralph thinks that okay, then we trust him.
Then my trust really is in Ralph running our squad, and if he wants that's what's the best thing for it. Do it.
Right. Yeah. Just go with it.
Listen to Ralph.
So yeah, and any standout performers from Sunday's game before we move on to the preview?
Obviously, Ward-Prowse with the free kicks and the way he ran it. Going back to that the Bednarak stat of every time he scores we lose 3-2.
Yeah.
I was listening to the Ugly Inside podcast, and they were talking about how us picking up yellow cards really early in the game, that's more what dictates us losing, dropping points. If you look at the games where you see yellow cards in the first half, the first half of the first half, towards the end of the game, we're then not putting in those challenges. If you look at the Vestergaard one is the silly one, because that's kind of a silly challenge you would maybe give away, but he could have been smart there. But if you look at the first Cavani goal, if Ward-Prowse had brought Fred down there, if he wasn't already on the yellow, that would have stopped that. We would have maybe done something. So it's maybe picking up those early yellows as much as Romeo doing it and putting in the smart fouls. And maybe they need to become a bit. They need to be even smarter fouls, but maybe happening slightly later in the game, or just being conservative with the cards. Honestly, the more you think about how important those positions are for us, and how important those two picking up challenges are, for them to have cards that early in the game, that's what they've got to wipe out, really.
Yeah, just imagine a 3-match ban for either Romeo or Ward-Prowse. It doesn't bear thinking about. It really doesn't. But yeah, that's an excellent point. I mean, there must be an element of caution there. I mean, I reckon Ward-Prowse was a little bit lucky. There were a couple of challenges, I think, after his first yellow that I was thinking, yeah, maybe. Yeah. But to our credit, we didn't give a penalty away to Man United. So well done us.
But yeah, well done us.
Good job. Good job. We'll take that. The
nice thing is coming out of that game. Did you hear Ralph's comments about the United dressing room after the game? How it sounded like they had just won the league. They were that happy about it, and that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. And then them to be beaten by PSG last night shows you really where they are. And we were off on Sunday. When you look back at it, it wasn't the best. It wasn't a good performance from us. So the fact that we still scored 2 goals, I mean, it really wasn't like the second half. We didn't do anything. Like you said, we didn't do anything second half, and
we were run riot in the second half. I think we were just being torn to pieces.
Yeah, but surely if we're playing to the standard that we've been playing,
we still look leggy. We
still look leggy. We still didn't look completely, and it wasn't. You can look at that team and be like, and watch that performance and be like, I can see why we lost here. We weren't robbed.
Right.
We weren't robbed of that. They deserved to win that game at the end of it. At the end of the game, I didn't feel like, no, they didn't deserve that. I was like, yeah, that was our fault because we were bad.
Yeah, and having not scored 2 good goals in the first half, it's just a 3-0 loss, really, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, but I feel like we take kicks in the teeth a lot better now. I feel like you look at the Spurs game, we got picked right back up from that. You look at this game, Brighton's got me a little bit nervous because they're kind of talked about like us recently, where they're just managed really well and they're just being coached really well. We're quite similar in that sense, so it's going to be a tough game, but a big win there would put us right back into here we are. Right, that was a blip against United. Let's keep going.
Yeah. And it is Man United at the end of the day. And I thought that second half was the best they played all season in the league.
Yeah, it's Bruno Fernandes knocking it into Edson Cavani. I'm all right then. All right, I'll take those 2 goals, whatever. Yeah. I'd rather them score like that than the penalties. If they had won 3-2 from penalties, I would be raging about the game.
What Bruno Fernandes hat trick from the
if that had happened, this is a different screw United, whatever. But they actually they pegged us back by doing stuff.
Great goals, really good goals,
good goals.
And actually, BT Sports were talking about it last night, and Rio Ferdinand and Gary Lineker were talking about the Cavani headers. They were all amazing, and there was one header that didn't even go in. That was kind of a looping one that Cavani did, and that would have been an amazing goal. And so,
there was 2 times in that game when we had stray passes, and you were like, "Oh well, we've just messed this up." Like when Vestergaard messed up that challenge, and Greenwood just missed it, and then the amazing double save from Alex McCarthy. So we're covering our own mistakes, and we're not giving away cheap goals, and we didn't give away penalties. None of it was really our fault. They were just well-worked goals, and we were punished.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we've the fact that we talked about that game for about 13 and a half minutes, we're not bothered by it,
It's because I was so annoyed after the preview, and I was like, I was just like, yeah, whatever. Game, whatever. So this is kind of this is a little bit of this is an apology for how bad the preview was after that game.
It was, and also the fact that I think we were waiting for old Matt Gina to turn up and gloat, and he graciously never did.
Yeah, I was like, let's get this off here. I don't need to have that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now,
I just give him a few more seconds. No, you can't make it. Oh, never mind. Right, moving on. So yes, segueing beautifully onto our upcoming game at the Amex Stadium on Monday night. And a couple of interesting things about this is we will be the last to play in this particular week. So it'll be interesting to see where we actually are come kickoff, whether or not we'll still be in 6th position. I would possibly doubt it. But at this point in time, we are in 6th. And we're playing a Brighton side who have looked okay. I think they're a well organised side. They're quite good defensively. Jack, what's your thoughts? What are you thinking?
Brighton are kind of like us without any bit of flair. About that's good, about the decent players. They're really well coached and well managed. And when you watch them play, you're like, you kind of want them to win a bit because you're like, yeah, go on, take Liverpool, go on, let's see Brighton do it, woohoo! But then when you get down to it, you're like, all right, what players from Brighton do I like? I'm like, oh no. Can never remember who plays for Brighton, even though when I watch them, like, hey, that was all right. They don't have the Ings or the Redmond. They don't have that next level of player. However, I just read that he will be missing this game with injury.
Oh, okay. It's not like Lallana be injured.
Do you know what?
Is he normally injured? No.
When he was at Southampton, I remember him playing really, really well. And then he left, and then he was injured.
Yes.
Who knows?
But we wish him all the best. All the best. But aside from that, I'm guessing we'll be facing a full strength squad in Brighton. How confident am I feeling in regards to this game? Pretty good, actually. Main reason I think that we have learned our lessons from the two previous games, which, let's face it, have been incredibly tough on two very attacking sides. And Brighton do have a threat up front, but I just think that hopefully the fact that we've had a chance to recoup, stabilize, get the fitness levels up, we'll be good to go. I see this. I see the formation being exactly the same as it was in the previous games. I don't think there'll be any changes in the side. We were kind of hoping that, and the reason why we're doing this on a Thursday night, it is Thursday, don't adjust your calendars, is we Ralph would have his conference now. But he didn't. So we thought we would have more information for everyone, but we don't.
Yeah, I've been checking my phone all day, like, well, there's got to be an update. And apart from, great news about Bednarak. Great news about Bednarak. That is
5-year contract.
For the form that he's been in, and the way that this league currently are in love with good performing centre backs, it's good to just get some people let in, because I feel like Bednarak's going to maybe in the next couple of seasons is really going to start to be on some people's radars. I think he is wicked.
Yeah.
But
kind of the case. I call that price protection. 5-year contract / price protection, which will be the same thing when Danny Ings finally signs. It will literally be price protection.
Yep.
So yeah. Other than that,
anyway. But back to the game. Yeah, like I said, we've taken kicks in the teeth really well this season. So I've got good high hopes for the game, because it feels like this is the game where this is a good game to bounce back from, because Brighton are all right, but we should be beating them. Yeah. And if you look at the stats, that Brighton haven't beaten us in the league. It's just some draws and wins for us. So on paper, it should say that we should get something from this game, and reality, we should want all of it.
The history books are favourable, and now would be an excellent time to ask the chat section of their score predictions. I can see a few of them have jumped in there. But yeah, so throw in your score predictions in the comment section. Me and Jack will get those shortly, whilst we audaciously give ours. It must be my turn to go first, because it's been your turn for the last, I think, 3 or 4 times.
Actually, it was Old Man G's last time, so
it was, wasn't it? But then did I go last? Anyway, I'll go first. 2-0. 2-0. I see us winning 2-0. I don't know what my reasons are behind that. I just think that, we're scoring goals. Even in the games that we're losing, we're scoring goals. And I think Alex McCarthy is going to be wanting to keep a clean sheet, as are we. So I think 2-0 was the result at the Amex last season, in fact, wasn't it? Got that right? Yeah, it was. It was a Gineppo and a Nathan Redmond goal. So, yeah, I'm going with the same formation. that have been the last 2 games and a 2-0 win. And I reckon Shea Adams is going to score, and so's Gineppo.
I like it.
That's very specific this week. I've even picked my goal scorers in the order they're going to happen as well.
Yeah, it's a bit. To be fair, it's a bit audacious with all those add-ons.
Yeah,
yeah, you're on to be quite high.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Shea Adams in the 23rd minute and Gineppo in the 61st.
Damn. Yeah.
Can you imagine if that comes through?
I mean, if you don't put that bet on, it's just now you've said it.
So, Jack, what are you thinking?
Do you know what? I keep just thinking 5-0. I don't know why I keep thinking 5-0. I don't know why I want to keep saying 5-0, but I do want to keep saying it. So I don't think that'll be the score, but that's what I want to say. So I'm just going to say 5-0.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know why, but the more you said those things, I was like, I think we're going to stuff them.
Wow. So either way, if my prediction of 2-0 and the goal times comes out correctly, or your prediction comes out, this preview is going to be incredible.
Imagine if it's 5-0, but they score on those exact times. That would be a good compromise.
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Yes.
Like, do you reckon that would make any difference to the subscribers? Do you reckon, like, with budget at all? Do you reckon, like, look at what these guys did? Yeah,
exactly. Nostradamus of the football world.
Do you remember there's that World Cup when the squid chose the scores? We could be that for this generation.
We could be the squid. We could be the squid. Look at that. Do you know, it's kind of fun. No one really. It's really weird. A lot of the attention, of course, you get a lot of attention from opposing fans on any of these sort of fan channels and stuff like that. And there's never a lot of take up on the Brighton games. It's always like low views. So
there's not a lot of them. They're all waiting for that Palace game.
Oh, shots fired. Yeah. Budgies versus seagulls and all that kind of stuff. So there we go. You're going for a quite relaxed 5-0, and I'm going for a 2-0 with those specific goal times.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at some of these score predictions in the comment section. Let's put a few of these across. Charlie Taylor is going for a 2-0 to the Saints. Inspired. I wonder if your goal times are the same as mine and the goal scorers. Ben Bray is going for a 3-1.
Not a lot of you are brave like me.
Is anyone going to go for a 5-0? Anyone at all?
Anyone? No.
Anyone? Well, last calls on audacious 5-0.
Well, I'll see you in the winners bar. Drinking my champagne.
Anything else that stood out for you over the footballing weekend or the footballing week?
What else happened? Not really.
I mean, of course, we'll make comments. You know, because the loss of Diego Maradona, you know, one of the greatest footballing talents ever to grace this earth.
Oh yeah.
Also had his fun off the pitch, but you know, let's not forget what an unbelievable talent he was. So, yeah, this very, very sad loss. And will go down as probably the greatest ever number 10. So
it was really weird emotions when it happened, because in reality I have been brought up to hate him, but then when it happened,
handball.
I just every part of me is like, no, we don't like him. But then when it happened, you're like, oh no, he was one of the best.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It really felt counterintuitive. I was like, my heart's telling me one thing, but everything else is telling me the other.
Yeah. And when you hear all these football pundits just go on and on about his skill and his ability, I mean, you think of like Gary Lineker. I think he was sharing a story of, and Gary Lineker would have seen firsthand, pun intended, exactly what Maradona can do. And of course, you know, that famous loss in the World Cup. But he said that he did this trick in the centre circle. He said it was unbelievable. I think it was at the Nou Camp or something like that. And just basically walked out into the centre spot and just kicked the ball, just launched it straight in the air. And literally waited about a couple of seconds, wandered around, and then just volleyed it straight up in the air, exactly the same. And he did this about 30 times. And the rest of the players on the side of the pitch going like, how's that possible? How do you do that? And literally they all went out and tried it, and they couldn't do more than 3. It was just amazing.
Have you seen the clip of Peter Shilton talking about him on the news, and Paul Gascoigne comes on And Peter Shilton is clearly has the face of the man that has had to talk about that goal forever, and he's the goalkeeper that's happened to. And Paul Gascoigne just says to him, "It's the goal that made you." And he's just like, "Oh, Gazza, calm down, mate." On live TV, even. Oh my god.
Yeah. Although there was that other story that when I think Gaz was playing in Serie A, I think it was playing with Lazio and Lazio Napoli or something like that, and they were lining up doing the pre-match thing, and Gazza turns to Maradona and says, "I'm smashed," and it turns to the other and goes, "So am I." The way football used to be played, I'm sure
just so you
George
guys
Best
know,
and all that.
Just so you guys know, that's what me and Mike say to each other every time just before we go live. We are very much the Gascoigne and Maradona of football.
It's Pepsi time.
So
oh dear.
The hard stuff.
We are proving it. So I guess the other major talking point is that fans will be back in the stadium on Monday. There won't be any Southampton fans; it'll just be Brighton fans. But fans are back, and it's great to see. I've got the Arsenal game going on in the corner, so that's bleeding into my mic. I'm terribly sorry, but it's a wonderful thing to see. Is actual fans in the stadium. I'm actually loving it, and it's obviously making a difference because Arsenal scored 4 goals. So, do you think that's going to have an impact on Monday with Brighton fans in the stadium?
Annoyingly, I think it's going to have an impact for everyone because it's like everyone missed. We all miss football. The players miss us. It needs to happen. It's going to be fantastic when it does, and Brighton are lucky that they get to be one of the first teams to do it. So. It just happens to be that we're away that week, and any team that's playing away that first week is just going to have to deal with that fact. The good thing is that we can't. Are we allowed to sing, or is it no singing?
No, I think that you are allowed to. I think you have to wear a mask between going to your seat, but you can take the mask off when you get to your seat, which is odd. But
I've read things that say we're not allowed to sing though because it's projecting.
Well, it is. Whether or not I think there was something in the guidelines. I'm sure there'd be COVID responsible guidelines. But the deadline has passed for just going on forward here to the Sheffield United home game, where Southampton will have home fans in the stadium in these seats that are all behind me, where we normally sit about there. Anyway, and so effectively, from what I've read, the way they're going to do it, the allocation. Apparently 10,000 season ticket holders have said, yes, I want to return, which I didn't think we had 10,000 season ticket holders, to be fair. It was a shock to me.
Is it, though? Because would you be more surprised for having 10,000? Or would you, if we had, what would you expect, 8,000? Would you really think,
well, how 8,000 was one number, so, I thought.
How many can St. Mary's hold? Is it 40,000?
33 something.
33,000. So would you honestly think that 20,000+ people just buy it week to week? just random.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, I guess there's a lot of members and a lot of general season general admission tickets. But the way they're going to do it is it's going to be season ticket holders with history. So they're going to have a pocket with season ticket holders with history, and then effectively the remaining. Or the rest of the 10,000 who have said, I'd like to return to the stadium, are going to be put into a ballot. So, which I believe to a certain extent, but if you sit about, where is it? Where's my finger going? About here in the middle section, for your season ticket, you're paying 800 quid for the season. But if you sit right in this corner here, I'm never going to do the weather, am I? You pay a season ticket here, you're paying £400 for your season ticket.
It's not so much the point. It's more of the head coming forward.
Is it? So anyway, back to my point. You're paying £399, I think, for your season, which is a great deal, brilliant deal. But the businessman in my head is thinking, wait a minute, if you got to refund these people, that's a lot more expensive to do than refunding these people. Where is it? Up there. Anyway, you see my point. So fair play to Southampton for saying that. Whether they're actually going to do it, I don't know, and we'll never be able to tell. It's like rigging a lottery.
Are we gonna
stop the count?
Are we just gonna live stream from the game, or are we just gonna?
You reckon we're gonna be in? Well, it's yeah. What's our chance? It's a 1 in 5 chance, then I guess.
Yeah, guess so.
And I think I've put you as part of the same booking group. So,
and I've done it the other way around as well.
Have you?
So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. I'm sure I attempted it.
So we're gonna try it, and then what they'll do is a rotational thing. So if you get into the first one, then I think you miss the next. Something like that. I think they're going to do some kind of rotation. So we'll see how that goes. But fascinating. But either way, we're going to having fans back in the stadium, which is a good thing.
That it is. Can't wait to lean on my wall.
I would guarantee that you're not going to be sat anywhere near where we normally sit. So
leaning against my wall, licking that concrete,
balancing a scalding hot cup of tea on the edge of that wall, just above the steward's head.
I never have cups of tea. It's hot chocolate, and you know that. But I've got because where I am, I've got the corner peg, so I've got like a little coaster. But if I drink too much, the wind will take it.
Yeah, it does. It's very dangerous. As I lost my hat there one time.
And as we all know, I lost my hat too, as the viral video will show you.
It's 1.3 million views, I'll tell you. But I'm hoping when we do go back, a lot of things are going to change for the good long term. And when I say that, I'm thinking of drinks in the stands, stuff like that you won't have. Apparently they were talking about having delivery services to your seat, which I think is incredible. Can you imagine that? And I think this archaic days of not being able to take alcohol onto the stands needs to end, in my opinion. They do it in rugby, and it's the only reason people go to watch rugby, if they were being honest themselves.
Here's a question specifically for you, as someone who's been to, unfortunately, had to go to a rugby match. I'm assuming in your life.
Yeah,
awful.
It's a good point. It was a good point.
Yeah, but also have gone to an NBA game. Whereabouts in the middle of that would you like to be?
Oh my goodness!
Because let's be honest, the facilities if you're going to go watch an NBA game, it's just it looks like luxury sitting at Premier League, doesn't it?
It's incredible, but I'm going to be honest here. I would say the rugby was more interested in the NBA game. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Wow!
But NBA, I was watching New York Knicks, and it was
that's your fault for watching the Knicks though.
The ability of that. We're digressing here. Sorry, we've just gone so off topic now. This is no longer Brighton preview. This is just chatting about football stuff. So sorry. Thank you for staying with us. Ironically, I think we got more viewers now than we did when we were talking about Brighton. But there we go.
That's 'cause people love the Knicks.
Yeah, they do. But yeah. Just so slow, and the ability of the rugby, the basketballers, whatever they're called, they just weren't very good. You think they did those penalty shots and where you stood in line and they weren't getting it in from there. I'm thinking I can do that. What's that about? But just very slow, very start-stop, very slow, very dull.
But how were the amenities?
Oh, incredible! I had at least 2 or 3 souvenir cups,
nice.
And they wash really well. So that's good.
There's not enough souvenir. That's what I mean. I don't want it to go full American, but I would like big seats with big drink holders and bigger drinks.
Yeah,
I would like a bit more of it.
Yeah, that's my point. I mean, you could market it quite well. You could have basically, souvenir cups that are in it's not obvious you're drinking a lager when it's through a giant straw with big halo on it for Southampton. Marketing department at St Mary's, get in touch.
In the past few weeks, I've said I've wanted the games to be. I've said I want the seats to be more NBA, and I've also wanted us to have the judges like the NBA. There might be something to those guys.
There might be.
The game might not be any good, but there's some things that we could take.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up a question here from Tristan. Welcome to the show, Tristan. Good to have you. When can you see stadiums being full again? Here's hoping for around April, May. this is an excellent question. As we're talking about stadium stuff at the moment, do you see this that being a realistic date, Jack? April, May?
I honestly don't see us going full fans this season, if not till the very end of the season, like the last game, like ridiculously late. If I would love to be proved wrong, and everything changes, but not really. I think I'm almost conceding to not seeing Southampton play live this year. That's where I'm at.
Well, this year,
this season, the end of
this season, right? Yeah. I'm kind of with you. I'm with Tristan. I'm kind of hoping for April, May, but I'm thinking maybe next season there'll be full stadium. It depends how fast we get going with the vaccinations, which are set to roll out next week. So we'll see how it goes with that. It might move pretty quick. It might not. But we're in a good position now where we're seeing fans in stadium and they haven't even started to roll out the vaccination. So maybe that's a good sign. So yeah. Let's do one more question here. Harvey Smith, do you think the GOAT returning from injury is starting this weekend? I'm guessing we are talking about Danny Ings, of course.
Well, he's not talking about Lallana, is he?
No, he's not. Do you know what? He might be, because I think it was a possibility. I think we're going to find that out tomorrow in the press conference. The press conference that was we thought was today.
If he is playing, then my 5-0 looks a lot better.
Yeah, 5-0 with a Danny Ings hat-trick, and then the other goals from Gianeppo and Adams, just like I said in those minute specifications. It's positive. I mean, I think the surgery went really well, and I think it was possible that he could have returned against Man United, but it would just have been a little bit erring on the side of caution. So 1 or 2 games more just to be absolutely safe and sure.
Also, probably a lighter game for him. If he does come get back against Brighton, it's a lighter game. Like he would have had to been playing against United. Do you know what I mean? He would have really had to been full on. Whereas Brighton, you could probably run him out for 60, 70 minutes and then sub him off.
I see him being on the bench.
They're coming on for a late hat trick, fastest hat trick in Premier League history, right at the end. Diallo's on the bench complaining, I don't get enough. I can't, how can I show how good I am at this game time? And Ings like, so watch this. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, absolutely. So there we go. And as always, it would be a preview show without this question. What's our opinion on the Salisu situation? Honestly, we don't know, but we're guessing that he will be there when he's ready. It was frustrating. It's a bit of conspiracy in itself, really. But
this is the way to look at it, right? He was one of the first. Was he the first signing after? He's the first signing really after Walker Peters. So it means that Ralph wanted him, and there's a reason that we bought him. I look at this as a massive drum roll for the next Virgil van Dijk. Everyone played this game with me. It's just every week he's coming. Oh, and when he comes, whoo-hoo! People, it's going to be great. It's a big build up, guys, and it's going to be worth it.
It is, and we're going to put him on the pitch, and then when we do, we'll be like, "Looking at is Liverpool watching?" No, okay, go. Do
you remember that? Is it the Coca Martina goal against Arsenal? That really awesome outside the box, that big curve that he scored, and we were like, "Yeah, here we go," and then you never saw him again. He went to Everton, and now he's not at Everton.
Yeah.
I think he might have gone to Arsenal. I can't remember. Yeah, he went to Arsenal, then he went to Everton. And who knows?
Are you talking about Walcott?
No, I'm talking about is it Coca Martina? Is it Martina?
Oh yeah, Coca Martina. Yeah. Scored that unbelievably good goal against.
That's the one I'm talking about. He came out
Boxing Day. I think.
We were like, here we go. We've got a player here, and then
disappeared.
Yep.
Yeah. There we go. Well, fantastic. I think we pretty much not only run the topic of the Brighton preview drive, but pretty much the world of football and as it stands at the moment. But thanks to everyone, as always, for joining us on the show. We like to keep things fairly casual, so if you do have any questions or comments, always feel free to chime in. And in fact, if you ever want to join us on the show for a bit of live banter, then drop us an email at matchdayvlogs@btinternet.com. There we go. drop us an email and let us know if you want to get involved in the show. It'd be great to have you on board. So all it leaves me to say is that we effectively get a weekend to enjoy the football, and then we got our game on Monday night. So it's the perfect weekend, people. Enjoy it. You know, it's your weekend cannot be ruined by a Southampton result. That's it doesn't get any better than that. I like us playing Monday night every week.
My weekend actually starts Monday, so they can ruin mine.
Fair enough, Jack. And we salute you as you. Are you technically a key worker? You work in a music shop, so
I sell guitars, and shred is very important to
it's
everyone.
Key, and it's work.
Everyone needs sweet hot riffs in their life.
Yeah,
and that's just essential.
Yeah, and I heard a rumor that industry is completely booming because everyone's rocking out in the home.
Yeah,
so in their home even.
Because I got the big boys coming to buy books from me. So they had good customers today.
It did. My wife dropped in to pick up. What book was it? A piano book or something?
It was a piano book, but I think she was more excited about the Nando she was picking up.
Yeah, cheeky Nando's night tonight. I went through a wing roulette, which I forgot how dangerous those things are. Anyway, we are digressing beyond the world of football now, so I think it's time to end the show. Thank you, as always, to everyone in the chat section. Great to have you all with us. If you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, is anyone on Twitch? I don't know. Thanks for joining us as always. Remember to smash that like button, and and we will see you for the live watch along. We'll be opening it up just before 8 o'clock, kick off on Monday night. And any final words, Jack? That aren't about chicken?
Not about chicken. No.
Yeah. No. All right.
Not about chicken.
Fair enough. Well, I will leave it there as always. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we will see you all in the next one. All right. See ya.
Bye.